Good Monday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett here in the King 5 newsroom. It is right around 9:30 on Monday night. An active start to the week here. We've got a monster of a storm that's going to just light up not only the entire west coast, the entire western half of the country with some very cold temperatures and some big mountain snow, including right here in the Cascades and in the Olympics. Let's get right into it because we've got a lot to unpack here. First of all, what you need to know is the winds have been gusty through most of the night tonight. They will continue to stay gusty, and then they're going to become offshore tomorrow. What that means is folks in Whatcom County will be seeing some gusts up to about 50 miles an hour from that Fraser outflow. We'll take a closer look at that coming up in a moment. Snow levels plunge overnight, and that's when we're going to start tracking some of that heavy mountain snow. We've been seeing some of it fall so far tonight, but snow levels have been relatively high. I'll tell you how that plays out in a minute. And then the frigid air moves in this week. We're going to be tracking some overnight lows that'll be in the 20s and highs that will be in the 30s a couple days this week as well. So a live look from Bellingham, where that onshore wind has been gusting up tonight. We do have a couple of watches and warnings in the area, and you can see a little bit of camera rock taking place there. But I think the bigger story is tomorrow. I'll tell you why. Wind advisory in place until 6 a.m. on Tuesday. That's for the lowlands, for everything you see in tan there. And we have seen some of those gusts, especially up near Everett, that got up to about 55 miles an hour earlier this evening. That should taper overnight tonight. I'll show you that coming up in Futurecast. Winter storm warning in effect until 4 p.m. on Tuesday above 2,000 feet, and that is not a typo. We are looking at accumulations of 1 to 3 feet in some spots, and some gusty winds up to about 45 miles an hour there. Ugly yellow mustard color is back in some of our islands near Camano, Whidbey, and Admiralty Inlet, where we do expect winds to gust up to about 60 miles an hour overnight tonight and then taper off tomorrow. That'll be in place until 7 a.m. on Tuesday, and as this system moves offshore, it's going to kick back some surf. We're talking about sets that'll get up to 18 to 22 feet through 4 a.m. on Wednesday, so bottom line, stay away from the immediate coast and do expect some minor coastal flooding as a result. Here's a live look, and again, this is Monday night around 9:30 that I'm recording this, so you can see that the roads are bare and wet up at Snoqualmie, already getting some accumulating snow up towards Stevens, but even still, the snow level's been about 4,500 feet, so that's slightly above Stevens Pass, but it's way above Snoqualmie. After midnight tonight, that's going to drop down. In fact, it's going to drop dramatically, about 2,000 feet. So between midnight and around 8 or 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning, that's when I expect that snow to start stacking up there, and there could be 10 inches of new snow at Snoqualmie by tomorrow morning, so that bare and wet's going to go away. And then throughout the day on Tuesday into Wednesday, we're going to see more of that snow that will continue to accumulate, and that's when we could be stacking up another couple feet by Wednesday morning. Looking at future wind gusts, I want to point your attention up towards the north there. I mean, we'll see winds that'll be about 50 miles an hour near Shelton, but even in the middle of the night tonight, still gusting up to about 52 miles an hour in Oak Harbor, mid-40s in Port Angeles. Bellingham not far behind, but then as we go through the day on Tuesday, we start to see things mellow. Our maximum gusts will be in the 20 to 30 mile an hour range, and then things really get mellow right around 4:30. But see up near Bellingham where it starts to get yellow there? Watch this. Now that Fraser outflow wind comes offshore and really lights up. So Tuesday night right around 10:30, I expect those gusts to get up to about 50, and they're going to be cold and they're going to be dry, and it's going to drive temperatures way down there. So as we take a look at the weather setup, this system, look at it. Even though it looks like it kind of skirts the coast, it also brings a lot of moisture and some very cold air inland, and I mean the Intermountain West, the coastal mountain ranges all the way up and down from Canada into Southern California are going to get lit up. I've seen some forecast models suggesting that even Southern California mountains are going to be getting some measurable snow in feet. So as we take a look at future radar here, this is right after midnight tonight, and the reason I'm showing you that is that this is when I expect those snow levels to drop and snow to start accumulating at Snoqualmie Pass. So between that time, between about midnight and 8:30, that's when we could see anything between about 5 to 10 inches of new snow there. And by the time the lifts start turning at Snoqualmie Pass, it could be about a foot of new snow there. Meanwhile, Stevens is going to really see a lot of snow. In fact, all of our mountains will. Speaking of which, this is Tuesday right around 6:30. You do see kind of a light rain-snow mix around Olympia and Tacoma, and you'll see some flurries down south of Chehalis and Raymond as well. We go through the day on Wednesday, we get to about 6 p.m., and son of a gun, we see some more flurries. It'll be south of Olympia out towards Raymond and Chehalis. Again, I don't expect it to accumulate, but you're going to see some snow that will be flying, especially along the northwestern tip of the Olympic Peninsula. By about 10:30 on Thursday, now we're out of the moisture, but that's when the cold really settles in. So about an inch will be accumulated at Snoqualmie after midnight tonight, but watch, by the time we get to about 9:30, yeah, we could be looking at about another foot stacked up there. Stevens will be closing in on 17 inches. Even Mission Ridge will get like about a foot by tomorrow at noon. And then by the time this system is out of here on Wednesday morning at 9:30, we're looking at some pretty impressive totals on top of what we already accumulated today. As far as lowland snow goes, again, I don't expect this to be a big snow event, but places like Quilquam, Quileute, Raymond, Shelton could get anywhere between 1 and 2.5 inches of snow there. Olympia and Chehalis and Tacoma and Bremerton will get on the scoreboard. Bellingham will even get some light snow as well. Overnight lows will be cold tonight, but that is nothing compared to what we got coming our way. If you take a look at Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, overnight lows will be in the 20s, and both on Thursday and Friday, despite the fact it'll be sunny out there, we're going to see highs that will only get into the mid to upper 30s. So yeah, we've got some active weather here, and just a reminder, there's just a little bit less than 30 days of winter left. So there is some light at the end of the tunnel, but it's going to be a very wintry feeling week out there. That's it from the King 5 Newsroom. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett. Stay warm, stay safe, and as always, keep looking up. Even Paul Sylvie knows that. So we'll see you soon.